But it's really easy to get lazy if you're mentally tired and you try to go lift weights and you move in the wrong way, or you do the same incorrect movement over and over and over again, which then compounds the issue. Can
Right.
you dive into that a bit
Yeah.
and how that leads to pain, discomfort, and
Mhm.
injury?
So we have a saying in our methodology that there's no such thing as a bad exercise. In fact, there's no such thing as incorrect form for an exercise. Now you say, wait a minute, what do you mean by that? What we're stating is that there's no one wrong way to do something, but it can be wrong if given to the wrong person at the wrong time for the wrong reason. So to say that there's good and bad form, it's like, no, not necessarily good and bad form, because form is context dependent. Is there a correct way and incorrect way to pick your baby up out of the crib? No, you're just going to get your baby out of the crib as fast as you can because something's wrong with them or something, or the case is, right? You're going to do it. Is that I remember doing that recently. It's like, well, sorry, you're going to hinge from your belly button. Is that good form? No, it's miserable form, but you're going to do it hundreds of times. So we look at good and bad mechanics to get to your point. There's good and bad mechanics, good and bad biomechanics. To always hinge from your hips versus do a squat, better mechanics and worse mechanics. So we're always looking for, it's like, how do we train great mechanics? But how do we train so people don't injure themselves when they do bad mechanics? And in our experience, most injuries come from subconscious or not knowing that they're doing the wrong form. Now, I'm using the word form. In reality, it's mechanics. And there's these things called, I mean, it's a technical term, but it's an attractor well. An attractor well is a rut in the ground. We move without even knowing it in a certain way that creates bad movement patterns. Now, right now, if you're listening to this podcast, you're watching this on a show, where the case is, you're sitting in a certain way. There's more pressure on one butt cheek than the other butt cheek. Your head is tilted one way or the other way. Your shoulders rotated one way or the other way. You compound those patterns through fitness, through life, through sport, through everything. And that's where our body starts to degrade itself. More so than doing a sit-up the wrong way. Now, I'm not saying that those are independent, that are both play the game, but we actually have more problems with poor subconscious movement patterns than we do with conscious bad form. And again, I know what you're saying, Sarah, but it's like really kind of putting this, I want people to understand that there's a self-awareness that is more behind, there's a lack of self-awareness behind our movement injuries, more so than the things that we know that we're doing. And that's hard because you don't even know what you don't know.
Yeah.